Good evening, good evening. New Earth Radio here, Pierre with my good friend Miguel Mendez. We are happy to have him. With Miguel, we have a group of interviews as well called Encuentro Espiritual, and we do every month a gathering with some amazing people in the Hispanic world. We talk and plot and think about the future a lot. We talk about prophecy. We talk about many things. Miguel Mendez, good evening. How you doing today?
Hello, Pierre. Good morning. Greetings
That's
to
right.
all of your viewers around the world. And well, yes, here we are. We are so glad that we have worked together in different uh, projects, and now this. And I thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes, it's a real honor to have you, Miguel. And would you like to talk a little bit about what do you do and when did you start doing what you're doing right now?
Okay, yes, Pierre. Well, friends, my name is Miguel Mendez. My spiritual name is Cecil El Negro, and I have been working like for the last 6 years in what we call the ceremonies of Temesscal or Inipi ceremonies here in Chihuahua, Mexico, and the northern part of Mexico, right beneath El Paso, Texas. And we have been working in these praying circles with this kind of ceremonies. Also, we have been working with ayahuasca, with peyote ceremonies, with San Pedro ceremonies,
Mhm.
and different other um, medicines and plants of power that we already know that for many thousands and thousands of years have helped the man to gather the knowledge and to walk his spiritual path. And we have been also working for the last 2 or 3 years as therapists with therapies from energy to psychology to well, massotherapy. I don't know if that's the word here, like massages.
Massage
That's it. Yeah,
therapy.
massage.
Okay.
And well, yes, this has been our journey for the last 6 years.
Awesome. Awesome. So 6 years ago, did something happen to you that you shifted from one thing to another thing? Can you tell us a little bit about that process? How did that happen?
Yeah, well, it's a very rough history. I had to work um, the transcendence of one of my kids, Alejandro. He had 6 years old. He was
Mm,
6 years old when he passed away, and
mm,
that moment for me was like the bridge of
yeah.
something inside of me, something that detonated this kind of questions about why am I here? What am I doing? Because before that, I was working in the government. I was a lawyer for the government,
Wow.
for the State Office of Labor.
Okay.
And well, that was my life, as an attorney, as a public attorney,
Mm,
and well, like a normal, like everyone would say, normal life. And
yeah.
then this happened. It was a long way for him to work his illness,
Mhm.
because from the birth he had a sickness in his stomach, so it
Oh,
was a long trip, several therapists, several
mm,
surgeries, etc. So it was a really hard time
yeah.
for us as a family and for him as an individual.
Right.
And well, and for me as his dad, all that I felt as my mm, my task to get him well. And well, after everything we did, it wouldn't be possible for him to continue his life. But
Yeah.
that I understood that when I began working with this kind of circles that get you to a most elevated understanding of life. And well, that's the point of that was my breaking
Your
point,
breaking point.
really. Yeah, in my life.
I'm sorry to hear that. Losing a kid, probably one of the most hardest and difficult things that can happen to a person, to a father, right? Father and mother. So that brought you to that questioning. To that questioning, you started seeking. Did you go anywhere, or do you visit with a spiritual person that helped you, or it was more like reading and more of an individual personal awakening on your part?
Well, it was kind of both, you know. It
Hmm.
was at the beginning, it wasn't like a change. Um, I began with the project with one of my aunts. She said to me that if we could do a project for remembering my kids, well, my kids' memory, I don't know how to say it.
Okay.
And this project was about like giving therapies, giving talks to people that are like in the same circumstances as dads, or uh, around someone that needed this attention
Therapy.
for his health. And
So
that was the first.
you're talking about recovering memories from your early years, kind of thing, like a past life regression, or
Well,
remembering.
more like support for other families
Okay.
that had lived this kind of histories in their lives, like with some particular cases of illnesses in their
Okay,
families.
got you. Yeah, I understand. Okay,
So
was a
that was the at the first
the beginning.
yeah, at the beginning, that was the project. But
Okay.
then as here in the area here in the states of in the state of Chihuahua, we had this history of people that have worked in this kind of ceremonies, in this kind of spiritual work
Yeah.
uh, spheres. And something took me to another, and they
Uh-huh.
ended up going to a sweat lodge, to a Temesscal here in Chihuahua. And that's when I felt like this different, something like popped into my heart. And I said, oh, okay, this feels different. This is not like a psychological therapy. This goes beyond that what I was expecting. And I began feeling this the calling, you know, like at the first time you get the calling, and then you say, what? I don't know what I am feeling, what I am thinking, what is changing
Yeah.
within me.
Yeah.
And then, well, it become like uh continuous work from myself to go into those places, ceremonies. Then ayahuasca came,
Mm-hmm.
then peyote came, then other masters from
Mm-hmm.
Peru, from Mayans, from Huicholes,
Mm-hmm.
from Apaches started to came and to like make this small changes and the small uh, how do you say it, like aportaciones.
So each person will leave you a little seed that was growing within you,
Yeah, yeah.
and
And then
you
the
were
next
becoming
step was like
awakening.
getting to, yeah, the way getting to know me through these ceremonies, getting to
Right.
know the impact of this knowledge within me,
Mm-hmm.
and from within to make it like pop up like mm, compartir, share,
To
to
share.
share
Right.
it. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So that was like 6 years ago. So your training has pretty much been very speed fast. You started and then you went full in. When is it that you stopped doing be the lawyer?
Like 2 years after I began with this conscious search,
Okay.
because at the beginning I was like feeling okay, I'm feeling better, okay, I'm
Yeah.
thinking different,
Yeah.
and I am looking at myself as a
Hmm.
different person, that I'm not like, I don't bond right like I used to in my office, in my
Hmm.
work. So
Hmm.
then it became look for my own truth,
Yeah.
you know, for my own spaces, for my own reality,
Right.
because it was like shaking me, because it was ceremony after ceremony and
Yeah.
master after master.
Right. Right. So, to the point that you right now are leading your own temescals, your own sweat lodges. I was checking your Facebook page, and I could see these amazing, beautiful photos. You recently did an amazing retreat, I think, at a workshop or a training, right? Where
Yeah.
you were leading this training, doing temescales and doing many things. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we are so grateful with the Great Spirit, because
Yeah.
this time he gave us the opportunity to coordinate these efforts, to bring this kind of knowledge to everyone. And this time we had 70 plus people that
Wow.
joined us in this, and this is the first time, Pierre, that we
Wow.
do this work. It was a collaboration with different um,
Teachers.
young guys, even young, because we are in the midst of the 30s, 40s.
Right.
So yes, we have this like this so young light that we want to
Yeah.
propagate, that we want to um, stick in everyone's
Hmm.
minds, and like for them to have this, okay, they're doing this differently,
Hmm.
and they're
Hmm.
sharing their hearts differently.
Yeah.
And we're so glad that we had this answer from everybody.
Awesome.
We were going at the first like the first goal was 30 people,
Wow.
so
Wow.
it was more than double.
My God.
And
That was at a hotel, right? It was
yeah,
a place, a retreat center that allowed for that amount of people to join.
yeah, it was in a hotel.
Yeah.
It is called Mansión Tarahumara, like Tarahumara Mansion, up
Hmm.
in La Sierra Tarahumara in Barrancas del Cobre, Copper
Hmm.
Canyon.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can look for it. It is amazing. It has these amazing views of the canyons,
I've
of
seen
the
the pictures.
natures.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really, really like so in contact with nature and the
Yeah.
elements.
How many days were you there?
We were there. Wait, well, I was there like 7 days,
7 days.
because I had it to coordinate. But
Yeah.
the retreat where was
Yeah.
from Friday to Sunday,
Okay.
3 days of work. We
Wonderful.
worked Kabbalah, we worked Tzolk'in Maya, the Mayan calendar,
Okay.
numerology, sweat lodges,
Hmm.
cacao ceremonies, and then a special, very very special party that we had one night. It
Uh-huh.
was like you go into this party like custom, and
Okay.
you dress as the more magical that you can feel, like your
Beautiful.
own essence.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone was, you could look at a fairy, and a midget, and
Okay. Okay.
a wizard, and yeah, so
Awesome.
many
Awesome.
different essences joining in a party.
Really, really great. That's awesome. So, one of the questions that I have, of course, New Earth Radio, right? We are looking into what are the elements right now that everything is crashing, political systems, corruption is everywhere in every country in the world. I mean, this is systemic. is everywhere. And we also have crisis within spiritual religions. And there's a lot of disenchantment by many, many people. And I know that we're moving into the future and there's going to be a big change. It's happening right now. So, with what you're telling me that the young people are coming to these events is just glorious, right? And I think that it's awesome to team up with different people that can be leading as well. Because when I look you, I'm a generation older than you. I'm in the 60s, you're in the 40s. You're
I'm
talking
in the
about the young
30s.
people. You're talking about the young people that are in the 20s. So,
Yeah.
we are three different generations for me. So it is important that this is coming to the young people because they are the ones that are going to be carrying the torch for this New Earth Radio, and they're looking for Temesscal, they're looking for all these different rituals and different things that are available because, as we said, churches in many cases, some churches, especially the Catholic churches, they have lost a lot of the people. Most of the crowds that go to Catholic churches are basically the old crowds, retired people, not so much the young. They are really feeling that the energy is not there, that the teachings are not there, even though Christ is an amazing teacher in the New Testament. I mean, there's so many incredible teachings, but you know so what are the things where you say that the Mexico aboriginal peoples are bringing into the table from the Mayans, the Tarumaras, the Chihuahua Apaches, the Huicholes, the Oaxaqueños with Sabina's tradition of the magic mushrooms? What is it that Mexico is bringing to the table for many people to nourish and to learn and to self-discover themselves?
Yeah, Pierre. Well, I would mm, honorably say that I don't I have always been in Mexico, so I don't know I don't really know how the whole world looks at us. But
Yeah.
as far as I can see and as far as I can feel it, Mexico is bringing
Okay.
the heart, the love, the compassion, the familiarity, the this kind of energy to the well-known ceremonies. Because if you speak about ceremonies, you can find sweat lodges in the United States, in Canada, with their own differences, right? But
Yeah.
from the essence, like most of the same, you can find mm, master plants ceremonies all around the world. So you go to China, you go to Australia, you go to
Mhm.
Europe, you go to different places, and they have their own sacred plants, which they have been used for thousands of years to
That's
get
right.
that knowledge from the nature to the
Mhm.
human conscious.
Yeah.
But as far as I can feel right now, and if you go to down south of America, to the
Santa Fe, Taos, around there.
so
Mexico,
they
Sedona.
also, yeah, they also have like this heart and love that they put into the ceremonies. Because if you can see, as taking the sweat lodge as an example, you
Mhm.
can see how the sweat lodge tradition began with the Lakotas in the United States, but
Yeah.
then it came down to Mexico and it went through the heart of the heart and the core of the Mexican blood, like the uh, mexicas, like the oh my God, I can't remember the names of the indigenous people here, but the
Yeah.
idea is that each one of them like put their own heart into the ceremony. And then you go all the way to the Mayans, where it like blossomed in a different way, and they have their own singings, their own teachings within this
Ceremony,
Lakota-based
the
ceremony.
lodge, right?
So yes, and this is what we want to share: the love and the heart of Mexico through this well-known tools of consciousness.
Hmm. Hmm. Where do you say Mexico is right now? Is there a lot of people awakening? Are you seeing a lot of people very interested in this kind of work? Were you very surprised that 60 people show up for this event? Was that a big surprise for you?
Yeah, it was because
Mhm.
we had so many different personalities, like and everyone like asking within their own
Mhm.
uh, path, a spiritual path, right?
Yeah.
Within their own spiritual path, but they were all with these questions about, okay, so I am, if I understand my numbers, my Mayan numbers, I'm like this and like that. So what I have
Mhm.
to do to like get all this knowledge and to be conscious about this spirituality that I am, this
Mhm.
spirit that I am. And yes, right now is like a boom everywhere, right? This spiritual bloom, and we know right now, we know that this is because of the change, the cosmic changes, and
Yeah.
even in new earth, as you say in your program, the frequencies that our mother earth are changing right now. So this calls upon us also to evolve into this new humanity that is interested in this kind of talks and themes and searches. So yes, yes, I see a lot of awakening here in Mexico,
Mhm.
even within my own family, you know, even within them. And this is the what we want, to work from the families,
Mhm.
from the heart of the families, and then to get it like spread it out. And yes, I can see that even in my mom, because at the beginning, like I don't know what she really thought, but I can imagine that me being in her place, I would say, I don't know, this poor guy got like crazy about his laws or something.
Yeah.
And maybe in the first 2 or 2.5 years, she couldn't understand any of the themes or the talks that I wanted her to understand. But right
Yeah.
now, I can tell you that she is consciously
Mhm.
looking on her own means, but looking for this kind of answers. So
Yeah.
yes, I can feel it in her heart and in the heart of my friends
Mhm.
also too.
Mhm. Now, do you think that when it comes to the world and with systems, that we are to reform the old, or we are to come in with something new,
Something new.
completely
Yes,
new?
something new. Yeah, I feel it from the
Yeah.
heart. And this was something that I was talking about with the guys on the event, on the retreat,
Okay.
that I feel that I as a father,
Hmm.
me, I can see the difference between the bridge, the brecha. How do you say
Yeah.
brecha?
La brecha, the gap, the gap.
The gap between me and my son,
Yeah. How old
because
is your son?
he is 10 right now.
10 years old. Okay.
Yeah, and they come right now with this new programming, and
Okay.
they just, not that he is like, um, como, no, él no es de que esté diciendo él, soy grosero contigo, papá, y no te voy a hacer caso, like
Yeah.
that, not like that. He's like saying, okay, I am different. I
Okay.
am consciously different. Even when he was like 5 or 6, he was saying like, consciously, I'm different and I'm here to make different things. I understand your way of thought, your way of
Yeah.
working.
So your
And
son, as he was saying in Spanish, that his son, my son was saying, I am not disrespectful. I'm just different, but I have to say what I feel. And he said that I am different. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, and even not saying it, just with their own actions, the new kids like right now are not just to follow the rules or to
Hmm.
follow the established schemes, social schemes. They're
Right.
about to make new ones, and I totally love that.
Hmm.
I as a father, sometimes I have this questioning times because I don't know whether I'm doing right or wrong. I'm doing as I can, but I also know that I have to let go of all of this and to work with my faith and through my faith,
Yeah.
and just let this change to also to teach me what I have to improve in the other schemes.
Right. Right. No, definitely the children are teaching us so many different things right now. I mean, as you say, the kids are coming into the earth. I already wired differently and thinking differently, and which is beautiful. So it is good to foster this creativity, independence, openness of thought, and asking them the questions. So, what is it that you think? How
Yeah,
you do it? You have to
yeah,
put things on their table so they can start thinking about what would they do and how would they do it differently, right?
yeah. And what would you think if you come with me to a sweat?
Yeah,
And you sweat with me, and I'm saying no, we have to change. We have to give us our own opportunities to get to know us, to get to know what we want, and how can I be like an example of myself, that I changed my life schemes because I was living like the normality, the
right.
social
Mhm.
normality, and right now I'm like
360.
180,
Yeah,
yeah, degrees from that, and so I have to be
congruent.
congruent within me and with
Yeah,
my son too,
yeah.
because he represents
New
the new
generations.
era, the new humanity for me.
So you have one son. You also have daughters.
No, I just want.
You only have one. Okay, and your
Yeah,
wife. What's your
yeah.
wife's name?
Kina.
Kina. And she also
Kina.
does the same thing with you.
Yeah, she helps me in the ceremonies. Yes,
Okay,
she
awesome.
comes
So
with
you
me.
you basically share the same spiritual practices and all that.
Yeah,
Same
well,
same
even
with my
even with
wife.
even with her at the
Yeah,
beginning, she thought like, okay, this is going somewhere I don't understand, but
yeah.
I don't know. He's he, and this is different than me, but I don't understand him. So it had it happened so many. We had so many changes
Yeah,
through the years,
yeah,
even in my own personal life and relationship with my wife.
yeah.
Everything changed. Everything.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So that and exciting because you are creating something new that is uncharted territory. It's kind
Mhm.
of like for me, I used to work as a real estate agent and I sold loans for a while, but I was a musician always. I live in Los Angeles doing music for over 20 something years. So even though I went into real estate, I was still doing music. But there's a point where in 2006, the real estate business and the loan mortgages crashed, and I had no work. And it caught me right at the moment that I was moving from Los Angeles to New Hampshire. So I went to New Hampshire with no job.
Wow.
And I was doing healing work. I had my real estate office, but in the back I had a meditation room where I would do meditation every Wednesday. I would get clients to come and see me and do some healing work, but I was not fully doing it, right? And then suddenly, I lose everything. I mean, the real estate is gone. I sold the house, moved to New Hampshire to a new house, new place, don't know anybody. and I just don't have work. And I say, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I heard the voice inside. So, well, you do what you're supposed to do. You start teaching and start going around,
Yeah.
doing your sound healing that you know how to do. And I started, just doing that. And amazingly, I was able to support the family as I
Mhm.
jumped 100% doing what I was supposed to do. And
Mhm.
people were just calling me, and things were like just happening. So it is amazing when we are really aligned and connected, everything synchronistically, everything starts happening. So
Yeah.
which is really awesome, really, really awesome.
Yeah, you began this inner path to your own reality, and you got to well, in myself, I got to a point that I just had it to have faith in everything and
Yeah,
just do what as you said, do as I had to do, as me, not a part of the society, not a
yeah,
part of a
yeah,
family, but me, what Miguel wanted to do from the heart. And then yes, everything just gets along with the universe, with Mother Earth, and then you start flowing in this reality, and you're like a fish in the water.
yeah.
Everything starts to flow around you.
Right. I think it's interesting to invite people that are watching to really look at the options, right? Because many people have been trained to structure their life according to a job. So you're a lawyer, economist, a nurse, you are whatever, right? One of these jobs, and then according to what you have is what you buy, and according to what you have is where what schools do you go or what towns do you move into, and people kind of follow the money, right? They
Yeah.
follow the money, and they don't feel fulfilled. I mean, in Canada, you can only imagine. I think there's probably above 30% or 40% of the people in the country are employed by the government.
Mm, yeah, that's a
So,
lot.
and it's a lot. It's really a lot. So we do see a lot of people that come through our doors, and they are lacking that motivation, in the sense they want to do something different, but they're pretty much stuck in this government job where they don't feel it's very rigid.
Hmm.
You work in the city as well as a lawyer, right? You work for the labor
So
department.
yeah,
So
the
you
labor
you get
department.
locked into a situation where you're working for a paycheck, and you're really not vibrating, and you're not happy inside. And it's so important to start thinking about minimize to maximize. It's kind of like you have to go minimal, right? And my lovely wife Janice had a saying like that. I can't remember, but it's like minimize to expand, minimize to maximize, or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a need for kind of like, and I think with this process that we've been dealing with worldwide for the last year and a half, a lot of people are questioning: do I need this? Do I need that? Why don't
Yeah.
we go smaller? Why don't we go smaller? And I think it's a great time to start looking at options of what can I do different that will really help my heart be in bliss, be happy, and go from being an employee for someone to being self-employed, work for myself, doing something that can bring, okay, I'm not eating, lobster and shrimp every week and steak, but
Yeah.
I can move into beans and something else, right? For a little bit until things starts shaping it and moving, because the moment that a person is really excited and starts finding their passion, and they start centering and getting into that place where they just feel so good inside, immediately things starts changing around you. You become a dynamo, and you start attracting new people. You start attracting people that think like you, and you start working beautiful things in building a new community.
Yeah.
But it only happens when somebody makes a decision and says, okay, I'm cutting cords with all the old, I'm stepping into the new. whatever that is. I trust in God. I'm gonna do it because
Yeah.
it makes it's an amazing leap, but we are all supported by the Great Spirit, and immediately things start just shaping up, and you were moving into something that you didn't even plan.
Yeah. Yeah, and the invitation, as you said, is to contact with that is within you, and to understand that you are an eternal and limitless being. So how can money limit you? How can materialism limit you? That's just only a minimal part of your existence. And if you empower the other like 99% of your existence, then you will know that the universe by itself has all the resources that you need everywhere you were, because you don't need money. This is what I say. I don't need money. Money needs me. The money needs me to become a house, to become a project. Money needs me to grow, because it is useless by itself. And this is also a consciousness that you go into when you look for your own reality, and to get to connect with your eternal. And when you do that, you understand the life like this, that the universe doesn't knows about lack, about the universe has no holes in it, so it doesn't lacks nothing. So that should be your living expression of your eternal being, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, thank you for your words. I was listening to a show the other day, and somebody was talking that a friend of this lady that was speaking, she was saying that one of her best friends that's very spiritual went to check her blood. Went to check her blood, and in her blood they started seeing the cells, crystallized cells inside the blood. So she was saying this is completely unusual, and it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen in some people, right? So because of where we are with the energy of the cosmos and the planet and our sun, the sun is also behaving very irrational with pulses, and some people are seeing and taking pictures of the light, and you see even pulses that are coming in, and so we're being affected by the pulsations and vibration. And as a sound healer, when we work with sound, there's a science, the science of resonance and frequency, called cymatics. I don't know if you're familiar with cymatics.
No, I
Well,
don't.
cymatics is when you generate a tone. Let's say that you create a tone like a if you have a platform and you put dust, the
Mhm.
platform start vibrating. But there's
Okay.
specific tones where that platform is, you stay and you jump from intervals, little by little you keep going on, you start seeing that the platforms will start vibrating, and then it starts organizing all the matter. So
Oh
the matter
yeah.
starts organizing, and you get sacred geometry,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
why they say that the solfeggio was hijacked by the other people, and we are tuned right now. All the music is tuned at 440 hertz, and it
Mhm.
really should be at 432, which is the heart vibration, right?
Yeah.
So when you bring down a song or you compose at 432, if you have the tone, that will start creating this beautiful organized pattern.
Mhm.
So sound and vibration, and you have to understand that our ears can only hear until up to 20,000 hertz. So from 20 hertz up to 20,000 hertz, and beyond we don't hear it. Some animals do. That's why with the dogs you have that, you just blow air and that thing is making a noise, and they can hear because they can hear higher than us. and they react to those noises and it hurts.
Yeah.
But the sun, the universe is projecting energy with sound and light, because that's what it is. Sound and light comes from the same place. It's the same as thunder and lightning that comes from the same place. We hear it as two separate different things, but it's one event, pow, light and sound that breaks in the spot, right? So it's the same thing. The sun, the galaxy is projecting this energy onto the earth, and it is sound and energy. So when I heard that, I started thinking, well, it's very possible that our blood, and I recently posted something on Facebook that somebody sent, because they're working with blood with some kind of a gadget in the hospitals right now that is organizing patterns and sound organized patterns, and patterns organize matter. So if you keep that vibration for a little bit, you can actually rebuild. You can rebuild skin. You can rebuild how do you say
Tissue.
tissue. That's the word. See, now I have to go to Mexico for the word. You can tissue. So they have investigated that tissue forms, the tissues that we have in the body are organized cells and protons, and all of that is organized with a particular different tissues, because somehow there's a vibration. So vibration of the heart, vibration of who we are, our own personal light, and in connection with the earth, with the cosmos, as a cosmological being, we're all connected, right? We're connected with the cosmos. So we respond to everything. The law of gravity is a vibration, it's a magnetic vibration that holds us together. But at the same time, within that magnetic vibration, there's a lot of sounds that we might not be hearing that organizes every single organ in the body with different specific patterns. So our liver might have a different tissue than our heart, and all these are organized in a way. So what I was saying is that the scientists have figured out, and they created a gadget. So now they can create some vibrations in certain places in the body where the blood will organize to create patterns and eventually create tissue, create different things.
Wow.
But it's all based in cymatics. Cymatics is the sign of, vibration, creating patterns, sacred geometry, and then creating matter. That's cymatics, the science of analyzing sound, vibration, patterns, and matter. So this is amazing. So if you can only imagine that the sun, the cosmos, the galaxy is activating our sun, and our sun is sending these new tones to us, right? And then the earth is reacting to that, so that there's the entropy and harmonizing between the earth and the sun, and then they start connecting within this new harmonized information and light and tones. So we are getting all these that we cannot hear, and then suddenly it started creating crystals in our body instead of carbon based, when they were saying a lot of the prophecy that we're going to move from carbon to crystal.
Wow.
It might be happening in that manner. It makes a lot of sense when I think about it, that there's new tones that we are being vibrated. We are vibrated in the same manner that Masuro Emoto is saying to a glass of water, I love you, I love you, I hate you, with emotion, and then he can see the crystals when he freezes the water. In the same manner, we are being right now, we being restructured and tempered by this energy, by the vibration and light and sound, to start bringing these crystals in our bodies.
Wow.
I just find it fascinating, man. Fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating, and it is well, as you said, it is so logical, because we are this matter that is vibrating. So yes, if this central sun, or our sun, or our Mother Earth is changing this vibration, well, it is obvious that we, as part of the nature, as part of the Mother Earth, we will change. So yes, and this is
Exactly.
what we have been talking about. So we just have to let loose all the structures,
Hmm.
all the mind structures, all the physical structures, and just flow with the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is what I'm listening from many people that are doing spiritual work and are seeing changes right now. The act of surrendering and setting intention and saying and literally say, I want to be transformed. I'm ready. I am ready. I want to transform my body. I want to transform my mind. I want to awaken. I want whatever my body needs to do for me to awaken. I am allowing, and I am allowing this, and I want to come on, kind of like online with this because you are asking for that. You are going to be given that by your higher self, by the teachers, the masters that are doing and helping with this work. So it's really important that we ask and we do intentionally. We say we want to have an upgrade. I
Yeah,
want to have an upgrade. I want to come on board. I want to expand. I want to meet my luminous self,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, and even more, Pierre, you know what? As I always say that that's the beginning. The beginning is that moment, that precise moment when you say, "Okay, yes, I can feel it. I can like I was saying to you, my in my history, I was feeling this different. I was saying, okay, yes, this is different, and this sounds more like me." And then it becomes on a conscious decision of saying, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And let's go. Allah, Krishna, God, Gran Espiritu, Great Spirit, whatever, but let's do it. And then
Mhm.
that's the decision. And then after the decision and the integration of the changes, comes a point where you understand that you are also vibrating an emisor, how do you say it?
You're broadcasting,
Yeah,
broadcasting.
you also can broadcast your own vibration and
Mhm.
your own new vibration and
Mhm.
help this this cosmic movement
Mhm.
within you and within others. So
Right.
yes, it is also a responsibility to begin this in your own life.
Mhm. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that responsibility and commitment.
Yeah, so that's the point where you go after the decision and after understanding the 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 changes and the integration of the new information within you. Then when with information,
Mhm.
with with growth, with maturation, it comes then the responsibility for doing it the right way
Mhm.
and for sharing it in the right way also.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think that we are all at that level at that time that we have to start making commitments, no commitment and responsibility of bringing this new earth and birthing this new earth and really moving away from fear because fear is the easiest thing right now. And as fear is being propaganda, no, it's a propaganda that's being exploited
Yeah.
to such extent, it is our responsibility to shut off all that propaganda and really search for the things that are going to allow us to keep it healthy. Because when you're in fear, you become acidic inside, and if you're acidic, you're going to get sick. Your immune system is going to go down. You can get cancer. You can get COVID. Whatever you can get, whatever. But if you are in love, in compassion, and you're in high vibration, then you become more alkaline inside. And
Mhm.
because of that, you start getting better and you start getting more connected with whatever we are supposed to connect. I also heard about somebody that was talking about that when we are in love, we are magnetic, and we are in fear, we're electric. And electric is more static.
Yeah.
It's not an energy that quite supports us, even though we are electromagnetic. But when we are really magnetic, we become, as you said, we broadcast that love, that compassion, and things really shift for everybody. So we are creating our reality. We actually live in a hologram, right? It's kind of like this time and space doesn't exist. It was created for us collectively. We are creating this, and we live in this bubble that is not really real, but collectively we believe it, and then we're stuck in this reality. Of course, there are also other people that are very interested in keeping this lie alive, and they've
Mm-hmm.
been working really hard, even in movies. In movies, they put the seeds up before it happens, so collectively it starts running through everywhere, through TVs, to channels, to cinemas, through social media, and all these movies they start projecting things that are not still part of the collective, but they are inserted through different generations to the point that we start believing on this nonsense.
Yeah.
And then we are trapped, and then the traps become even deeper and harder to break. But I think that right now, a lot of people are really getting it, really getting it. You know, I started also watching a show that this guy also brings up so every month he says, okay, let's see what the Economist, what is the portrait of the magazine, The Economist for this month. And he's kind of like cartoon look-alike.
Uh-huh.
And they have all this symbology, okay? They have all this different weird symbology that they are starting. You watch it, you look at it, and you keep reading the magazine, and there's all these symbols in the magazine. They started seeding all this information because they wanted to spread collectively. And this has been happening even in Disney movies. They've been using subliminal messages, subliminal symbols to keep people, you know, deep in the lie and not understanding who we really are.
Yeah.
Because we are more than that. We are amazing beings of light in this little body, yes, but we can create so much if we just believe it and start moving to the into what is next. You know, minds alike that can get together and start projecting something from our minds and hearts as something that is there is already happening, and things will start shifting.
Yeah. Yeah. Evidently, we are this antenna that we can reprogram also the so-called matrix.
Yeah,
But as I was saying to one of my patients, okay, you want to awake, because he was saying, no, I wanna open up my third eye, I wanna be awake, I wanna blah 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 blah. Okay, yes, but from where are you doing that? From where is that
intention. Yeah,
consciously enough your intentions where they come from?
where is it coming
Is it
from?
from your mind? Is it because you would be able to control your wife or your kids, or what are you waiting for after doing this? So yes, that's also the main theme of responsibility, and the ones that
Yeah,
are in this conscious have to be very 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 careful of where to put the knowledge and
yeah.
how to put it,
How to use it.
because yes, we have the opportunity to
Hmm.
change the history, but from
Hmm.
where and to where are we changing it? And yes, we have to change it from the heart, and to be better societies, to be away from fear, away from everything else that it's outside right now, and that has us with this kind of living that they just drain our energy whatever they want. So yes, we are infinite, we're conscious light beings that we can change this reality and this
Hmm.
earth, to live like gods and goddesses.
Mhm.
Yeah, I truly believe this.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people believe in that. It's just that we are immersed in a cloud of fear, and a lot of people need to hear these kind of things to just start looking for something deeper, spiritual, that will make them actually shift. Because if people continue in this matrix of fear, the earth is trying. I mean, we have all the elements, right? All this sound, all this light, and the light is shifting people, and within us there's our thoughts that are saying, no, but this cannot happen. I mean, I cannot become crystal. Or even if they don't think that, they are just thinking in fear. While the sun is, we are receiving, physically receiving the tones and receiving the energy, our minds are really in fear. So because we're in fear, we are missing out in the great opportunity of awakening and becoming who we are, to become these amazing luminous beings.
Yeah.
So it's so important. Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, who is one of my great mentors, spiritual mentors. I'm a what they call a Kriyavan. I received Kriya Yoga, was initiated in Kriya Yoga, but he has a story that I did the lessons before receiving the initiation for 2 years, and he has a story. One of the stories that he talks about, that this sage was meditating, and he was kind of like the shaman chief of the village, right? And suddenly he's meditating, and he goes, oh, oh, kind of like looking around and saying, "What do you want here?" He saw a shadow walking by. And he says, "Why are you here?" And it was death that was coming.
Mm.
And he said, Death said, "Okay, dear Guru, you know that my job is to keep the flow of life, right? Things, the cycles of the universe. Some people have to die, some people have to come in. We need to make space." And he said, "Yeah, but why are you here, my village?" "Well, when was the last time that I came?" He said, "Well, it's been like a couple of years. Nobody has died." And you're right. So what are you here? "Well, I'm coming here to take 3 people." "Oh, so they are ready?" "Yes, they're ready. It's time for them to transcend." And then, the guru kind of says, "Okay, only 3 people, don't take more." Yeah. And what happened is that there's a disease that happens in the town, in the village, and this disease it started freaking out everybody. So the 3 people that die kind of like have a really bad disease in the skin. They choke and they die, and it was awful. And people start freaking out just by looking at the people that had died from this. Let's say that you get some animal insect that start eating your skin, and you die from some this weird disease. Everybody start freaking out in town. And then suddenly, 3 people die, 4 people die, 10 people die, 20 people
Uh,
die, up to 100 people.
oh.
And then, the guru was meditating there, and then suddenly he saw the death, and he said, "Wah, wah," started yelling at death. He said, "Hey, you fooled me! You told me you were not going to take 3 people, and you look at what you've done. You've taken 100 people from the village, and the village is a mess." And start yelling at death. And
Yeah.
he says, "Oh, the guru, please, I'm sorry. The only 3 people I came was this one, and that one. The rest died of fear. I didn't do it."
Yeah, and it is so true.
It is a great story, man. It's a great story. And this is what happens. People are really putting the switch, whoever is selling us this big light of, this pandemic, number one, it is not, because it's still a point zero zero something. And
Uh-huh.
to be diagnosed as the P letter, it needs to be like 1% and something above. We're not even there.
Yeah.
And fear has created so much damage. People have become pretty much acidic, and are dying of diabetes, are dying of complications, are dying of heart problems, are dying of depression, are dying of so many different things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what's being exported and sold to everybody.
Yeah.
So we are in a time where um, we are the threshold that we can jump into this higher consciousness, and it just takes commitment and responsibility to be aware that if we switch into fear, whoop, we go back, and the threshold goes, we all go down, and we're right there at the threshold where we're gonna really jump into the next consciousness, and we're gonna be able to see this amazing reality that we will be creating, because
Yeah.
it's collectively we will get off this matrix and tap into a new matrix of light, love, compassion, creativity. It's all right there, ready to happen, right? And they keep giving us, oh God, the Delta is coming. Oh, okay, the Indian one is coming. Oh, this other one is coming. Oh,
Yeah.
the Brazilian is coming. Listen, you know, it's just more and more of that nonsense. Yes, there's something going on that people are getting sick. Yes, but if you are really sick before that hits you, then you can go because you're in fear, right? So it's about time that we really take commitment and responsibility in knowing that we are at that brings, we are at that threshold where things can change and we can move to a new paradigm. And it takes more praying, more compassion, more light, more laughing, more dancing, more meditation, more, temazcales, sweat lodge, and prayers, right? And bringing this light, and believing that we all can change and bring this new earth into fruition by
Yeah.
just putting a lot of our energy there, us as a collective.
Yeah, and it is like that. It is like a what? Like how do you say it?
Uh,
Like
it's, it's in a brinks, in a
yeah,
second. It can
in
just
a
boom.
second. If we are enough, if we are people enough, like in that second,
That
we will
vibration.
change everything, and we will see everybody will see the lie, and will be like, oh, okay, I was living a life for 2 or 3 years, so right now I'm not going into that lie, so I'm gonna live like this, and boom,
Yeah.
everything changes, because it changed like that for me, and I'm sure that you can say the same in
Yes.
your
Yes.
own experience. It just happens when you trust God, when you trust the Great Spirit, and
Mhm.
you put all the trust in the universe, that it happens like that.
Right.
Nothing happens beyond what you can think of,
Hmm.
and it just change everything for you and yours.
Hmm.
Everyone that is around you will see it, because I know now. I know I'm getting into contact with friends of my youth, or my primary school, or my, I
Hmm.
don't know, my previous version of me, and they
Yeah.
say, what are you now? What are you doing? I have seen you in Facebook, that you travel, that you go, that you come, and you're not sick, and you're blah blah blah, and you live like in another world. And yes, it is a different vibration.
That's right.
And yes, I'm not living in their
Paradigm.
earth, in their reality. I'm living my own reality, and I'm creating my reality also for them, because if they can see it in me,
Mhm.
then it becomes a possibility that can become a reality for them also. So yes, it happens like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that we have to be an example for many people, to inspire and to help in many ways. That way, people can feel more confident and feel that more empowered, right?
Yeah.
More empowered. We are right now. My wife Janice and I. We are doing our first teaching, our first shamanic apprenticeship, We're starting this on July 23rd. We usually have done weekend workshops, and many of them, but this is more of an intricate and a sequence of several different workshops to complete the apprenticeship. We start on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and then the following month, August 6, 7, and 8, we're gonna do the first direction of what I'm calling ascending the sacred spiral. And in the process, same as you and many of the people that we are engaged in talking, there is an awakening process that happens through all these different things that we use. And same as you, I use ayahuasca in San Pedro. So there's a little bit of that awakening created by the plants. There is also a lot of meditation and chanting and mantras and that I did that allow me to open, and once these pathways start opening, we have what we call the rising of the Quetzalcoatl, which is a very familiar thing for you guys because it comes from the Aztecas and the Mayans, I believe. So the rising of the Kundalini in Peru, we have the Sachamama. Sachamama is one of our power animals, which is the mother serpent. The mother serpent being the snake. Then we have the mother jaguar, and then we have the condor. But it represents the three centers that is part of the cosmology of the Inca spirituality, right? The snake being close to the underground, and this reality, and then the upper reality with the condor. So the three levels, so to speak. So, but for me, I always use Quetzalcoatl because it's kind of like this snake that is used to be on the ground, but suddenly it starts rising. It becomes the winged snake.
Yeah.
Right? So it opens the wings and it can fly, and it can fly because your third eye opens and you can awaken. So that is some beautiful things that pueblos originarios, original tribes, the original peoples of the world, were in connection from the beginning with all this magical way of being, and not a squared way of this is how you have to live and whatever. At that time, it was different. And you have all these processes. The Inca had the processes for awakening by using different medicine plants, and even when Pizarro came to Peru and they captured Atahualpa, the Inca, he says you have to listen to God, Atahualpa. You have to listen to God, and they gave him the Bible. He put the Bible in his ear and waited for God to talk. He says God doesn't speak, and he threw the book. This is the word of God. No, he got rid of the book. It cost him his life, right? Because the Incas, the Mayans, as many of the original tribes, their connection with the divine is a direct connection with no intermediary and no Bible, no nothing. And it's a direct connection. When you are doing ayahuasca, somehow your left brain goes to sleep and you can connect directly with source, and you ask a question and you get the answer immediately. And a lot of the magical plants do that. So you hear immediately what you ask and you get an answer. So the trainings and the energy, the awakening that a lot of our ancestors have left us is primordial for the times that we're living, because we need the Inca spirituality, we need the Mayan spirituality, the Tarahumara spirituality, so many things, the Native American spirituality, the Canadian Native American spirituality, so many different teachings. Because right now in this crisis, many people are looking for what is the sacred, where is sacredness, how can we reconnect with the divine? And it's so important, right, to find those points of connection, and that's what you do, and you're bringing these teachings to your workshops. I'm doing the same thing with this ascending the sacred spiral shamanic training, which allows for that. So Miguel, I know we've been talking already for an hour and something, and I want to ask you if you have some other words of wisdom that you want to share with the audience, so we know, so we can connect with that.
Well, yes, Pierre, maybe like a resume, like
Summarize.
yeah,
Summary.
summarize
Yeah.
by saying that we are ready. We are ready as individuals. We are ready as society. We are ready as the new earth to begin this process of changing and to live this process without fear. We are ready to know us as these eternal beings. All of us, we can all work together to to re to rewrite the truth and to make this a new history beyond all thoughts that we are in the matrix, that this is blah blah blah, no, but if I can feel my if I can touch my own skin and feel my touch, so this is a reality, and this reality we can change it, and we are ready to change it, to live like as as free as we want. You wouldn't, you don't have to uh, let go of your profession or what you do right now. You can work with that also, but to
Right.
hear the calling for your own self to be present, and from that presence to manifest your reality is what would get us all to this new earth. And well, the message is that we are ready, and
Yes.
come on,
Come on
hop
board.
in. Yes.
Yes. So, Miguel, before you leave, places that you go in Mexico when you bring people to, where are some of the locations that you visit in Mexico? So sometimes people are looking to go, for example, to Cancun, Tulum, Chichen Itza. They're looking for many different Mayan sites or different places. Where are some of the places, the retreats that you offer in Mexico?
Well, our next retreat, and thank you, Pierre, for this. Our next retreat would be, we will be programming it for December, I think.
Hmm.
We will have the specific dates in a couple of weeks, and we wanted to do it in I don't know if in Tulum or in a beach in Nayarit. Evidently, these
Hmm.
places uh, go beyond the frequencies of the cities of the, so these places that we choose to pardon, to do these events are special for
Hmm.
doing these works, and
Yeah.
to elevate your frequencies and vibrations, and
Hmm.
to make you feel the new reality. So yes, we're planning to be in Tulum for the
Oh,
by the end of the year. So we want you there, Pierre, with
listen.
your wife, with your
Yeah.
beautiful wife, and we will be so glad to have you guys here.
That's a dream of mine. I've been to Cancun only once, and I had friends in Mérida and Progreso, and I visited Mérida, Progreso, and I visit many places over there. I didn't go to Tulum, and it was a big like, oh my God, I'm missing the big thing. But I remember Tulum. It's kind of like those memories that you said, yes, I've been here. I remember Tulum. When I see
Yeah.
pictures of Tulum, I know I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah,
evidently. Yes.
I would love to be there. So, hey, Miguel, so nice talking to you, and God bless you. Thank you for coming on board in the show, and we'll see you again soon. We'll
Yes,
we'll,
certainly.
we'll connect, and it will be awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very, very much, Pierre, for having us here in your house. And thank all of your audience for having us in their own hearts. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Yes.
God bless you. Okay.